Speaking of garbage, you're from New York.
Yes, which always smells like hot garbage. Yeah.
You know, and New York, ever since your former mayor Bill de Blasio was mayor, you know, garbage has been piling up in the streets, and now you have even more garbage piling up in the streets with Comrade Mamdani.
Well, yes, and metaphorical garbage, because all of his ideas are also garbage and will rot the city from the inside out, I'm afraid. But
do you plan on staying?
Well, let's see.
Or the flight begins.
Maybe I'm a bit of a masochist, but if you got accustomed to progressive governance in New York City, which I was when I moved there, it was de Blasio, which was rather draconian. He, of course, had the terrible restrictions for COVID. I was like, why did I choose to come here? This is a very sad existence. But then Adams came in, and it was actually an injection of moderation. It was some common sense governance, even though he was still liberal comparatively. But he brought more cops out. You could tell there was like a tangible difference in the police presence around some major hubs in the city, especially in the subway platforms. But now with Mamdani, I expect all that's going to go out the window, but I've almost gotten used to this like baseline of everything is terrible. So I also
so you have a high tolerance.
I have a high tolerance for pain, and I think a lot of New Yorkers do. There's always Hoboken, which is right over the river, and I was considering that, but honestly, let's just see how bad it gets, because there were two schools of thought on this. One is Mamdani is a socialist. He's going to inflict maximum damage on New York City, and we should all be terribly afraid. The other school of thought was he's a moron. Yes, he has toxic, noxious ideas. His funding for his campaign was tied to radical Islamism, you name it. But at the same time, he doesn't have the unilateral power he thinks he does. He still has to play ball with the New York legislature and Kathy Hochul as long as she's governor. And she basically did a George H.W. Bush, read my lips, no new taxes.
Right. Even
though she's a Democrat, she knows that she can't afford to run the most wealthy New Yorkers out of the city because they are the tax base.
Yeah.
And he also probably won't be able to deal with the city hall bureaucracy maybe the way he anticipated. There's a lot of things he can't do.
Yeah, I think that is a great take, because
let's just hope that's true.
Yeah, I mean, because I think that there is. I mean, I think this was true of AOC, that they kind of buy their own bullshit enough that they think,
Cortez?
I think we can get this. You know, we're going to be able to do this, and so I think he really believes that. I mean, maybe he looks at Trump and all the stuff that Trump is doing unilaterally and thinks, oh, I'm going to do all these things. And you're right. I think there's a lot of checks that he may not be aware of or not thinking through.
Well, you're absolutely proving my longstanding point, and that is people of the Democratic Socialists of America are just standing mouthpieces.
Yeah.
They really have no ideas of their own. They just regurgitate whatever they're told to regurgitate. And for him, I think that's absolutely true. He's charismatic. He sort of operates off of a script. AOC, Sandy Cortez, same thing.
Yeah, there's no question that these were groomed performers.
Yeah, and so much of what they do seems performative.
I mean,
until they hit reality.
Yeah, Mamdani is a theater kid politician through and through. There's not an ounce of authenticity when he talks, but he's a smiley guy and he's charismatic
and he eats with his fingers.
Oh, God.
Trying to be authentic.
So wild.
Trying to be authentic.
But to your point about he hit all the right notes, especially for young people, he came up with the affordability, the magical elixir that would cure everything, even though his prescriptions will likely backfire and make things so much worse. Rent freezes and all that jazz.
Yeah, that's the interesting part about it. I mean, the whole affordability question now is part of the lexicon of American politics, but the remedies for that the left wants to entertain are completely off the wall.
Yeah, I mean, they do the opposite of affordability.